Hey, sorry for the late start, everybody. I was attempting to get camera 2 to work again, and it doesn't. Camera 2 has died. So, only one camera today on Friday tea time. But that's okay, because we're going to be working fairly small and right around here anyway. Let's just pull that forward a little bit. So yeah, this is going to be kind of our work area. And thanks to the poll, what we are making is goldfishes. I'm just this is the previous hilariously small goldfish that I made. He is the model for what we're doing. Bigger, not this hilariously small, because I'm actually having trouble figuring out how to safely fire something that hilariously small. So we're gonna go more like marble size, but we're gonna make some goldfish. I'm gonna open up some general silly fancy goldfish reference by getting clay all over my phone, and then we can make suggestions for varieties of fancy goldfish or not fancy goldfish, but fancy goldfish I feel are the most fun because they are so silly. Everything about them is so silly. Also, there's stuff now because last week you guys got me to 50 followers. So there's new things and I don't know how they work. So there's nothing really awesome, cool, and new set up yet for that, but feel free to play with it and tell me what's going on, what's happened, what it does. Everything should be sparklier now. So, woo! And let's see what else. Other general business. I'll show you a thing quickly that I have been working on for myself. Did some of these little hanging planters that I'm going to hang probably in the corner behind my desk, and I'll show it to you when it's done with plants in it. But I'm showing it to you because somebody sent me this, which is definitely a clay tool, not a kitchen tool, 100% clay. And I used this to turn this into the teardrop shape that it is now. So this is the first application of my brand new, definitely a pottery paddle and not a spatula. And I'm very pleased. The other fun thing that we're trying today is new clay. So yes, definitely, it's a 100% absolute clay tool. It's for nothing else, just for clay. Yes, and some people in chat are now VIPs, which means they have a pink diamond. It doesn't mean anything besides that they're special. So I gave them a pink diamond. That's the whole of the meaning of the pink diamond. They have no special powers other than perhaps being able to reach me at all times instead of just during stream. So yay, special diamond icons next to people's names. That is a feature of having all of these followers. It's an extra special thing. So I am drinking Earl Grey tea. I'm drinking basic Earl Grey in a very large mug. I was going to put it in a teapot, but I felt like it took up too much desk space. So let's see if I can find My wire tool, I can't. I don't know where it is. Cool. Just use something else then. We don't need much clay. But what I've got here is a new clay that I have never worked with before. So we're gonna discover things together about it. I'm gonna just pull off some here. Enough that for a variety of goldfish. Lord knows where I've left my needle tool. Probably across the room in a bin somewhere. So that's a good start. That's a good place to start. Just put it away. It's a little bit stiffer than the clay I've been using, so we'll see what happens. But it is a buff with sand. Don't know what the sand will do. I don't know if it'll be better than the grog that I've been doing with the red clay that we've been using for sculptures lately. But I'm excited to find out. Hoping the sand will help make it sturdy, because the idea behind this clay is that I will be using it for a fountain. A large octopus-based fountain. So, the sand is a finer texture. It's a little bit less crumbly than the grit of the grog and the red clay. So I hope that it will lend itself to octopus tentacles better, and I hope that the sand will help it stand up against dampness and the elements. These are my hopes. I have no basis to figure them out besides making some goldfish. So all right. So we'll start with sort of a basic fancy goldfish. Let's see. Sort of like this sort of fellow. You know, just the usual slightly oddly shaped fancy goldfish. Prop up my phone, which will definitely be covered in clay before this is over. What do I do with... I guess we'll just use the slip from the regular non-sand buff. That should be fine. Should be fine. And make ourselves a goldfish. So they've got just very round bellies. So they're a very marble shaped, so round, and they've got like a little goldfish face, and then this comes up to where their tail goes, but they've got a very round belly, and it's fun. Fancy goldfish look like they have trouble surviving. It's at once worrying and endearing. Fancy goldfish look like they're like pugs. We broke them. There's something wrong with them now. They kind of wobble along as best they can. But it's not well. Yeah, they don't swim that well. They kind of wobble along. They're very decorative. But decorative but impractical. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit to the front. Make sure that we have enough goldfish face. I think we need a little bit more. A little bit more goldfish face. Yeah, they are. They're fancy goldfish, fancy floating snacks. They're in fancy goldfish in the realm of goldfish are like the small decorative cakes, as opposed to just a biscuit. Hello, Auntie Shepherd. You are here, which means you're not trolling me on Twitter, which is all to the best, really. All right. Need to rinse some clay off here. So far, I'm liking the sand as a support. It's going on smoother than the Navajo wheel with grog was. It's a little bit easier to smooth down into shape without cracking. Oh no! Oh dear, singing's meat pies have been brought up, and now Chet's taken that to its darkest conclusion. Okay, so goldfish they have a round belly, but it's just a belly. They're kind of flat along the normal fish shaped along the top. So they kind of have like a normal fish. Well, I say normal. It's a little bit of like a hunchback fish, really. So like a fish shape. And then the belly, and then let's see. Tools. What tools do I want to use? Go with. So they've got like phone. You need to stay on for longer. They've got that sort of. They have like a separate head shape. It's like it's pasted on. And then, they come in like that. And then goldfish mouth. Goldfish mouth. Yeah, kind of like that. Crossbow. Not everything can have a crossbow. I mean, look at this goldfish. It wouldn't survive a D&D campaign. Has like 1 hit point. Okay. And then goldfish eyes. Not as hilariously bulgy as the one that I did. That's the tiny one, I think. But still. Nope, farther to the front. Like there. Like there. There. Yes. Put my goldfish down for a minute. There we go. One of these eyes is significantly larger than the other. Oops. Fix that. What? How far the French went? Oh yeah, I'm not a French speaker, so I don't know what the French part of chat is doing. The Hunchback of Notre Fish. Okay. Eyeballs. That's kind of the basic fish. Phone. Oh, now I have to push the button. That's never going to work. I'm covered in clay. There it is. Fish is back. I mean, have you ever seen? Of course they look hilarious. Of course the eyes look hilariously derpy. That's what fancy goldfish do. I almost washed my clay tool in my tea, but did not. I did not do it. I managed to avoid it at the last moment. Yeah, the reason that I picked goldfish in as a pull option is that they're just hilariously like friendly looking. There's just nothing threatening, worrying, or at all concerning about fancy goldfish. They are gentle, foolish looking. I mean, I did have one that was a little bit problematic, and I had to adopt him from a friend. But we'll leave Hannibal the goldfish out of this. And they look nice. They look nice and friendly, and that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted for the day, really. Was just the nicest, friendliest, silly animal. Yeah, nice, friendly, harmless. It's been that kind of week. It's been the kind of week that could really use some nice, friendly, harmlessness in general. Just a nice, friendly goldfish. Phone, I swear. Waste your batteries staying on. Ignore everything I've ever told you in the past. Keep that screen bright and turned all the way on. All right. Gold, and then let's see. We want, yeah, a nice, friendly, harmless goldfish. Kind of get a better gill line in there. I am trying to stay. Do you have to wait until it's... Yes, you have to wait until it's fired at least once if you want to put glitter on the goldfish. You can get opalescent glazes. You can have an iridescent sparkly goldfish. I really want to try raku firing, which is a way that you can get really good metallics because you're using essentially powdered metal at extremely high, fast temperatures to melt them and then oxidize them. But I don't currently have a way to. I don't have access to a kiln that can raku fire. So the goldfish will just be normal sparkly. I feel like glitter in the goldfish is probably a mistake. I do not have a time-lapse camera inside the kiln. I'm pretty sure that it can't take the heat. You'd have to make a little window, and I don't know how well that would work. Raku is super intense, but it gives you a reaction with the glaze and heat that you can't really get any other way, and it's super cool. If you want to see people freak out about it and do it in the most epic way possible, watch the Great Pottery Throwdown. Season 1, 2, or 3. I admit that I watched most of it on YouTube. I don't know where, if you are not in the UK, you can watch it otherwise, but it's great. Yeah, you can get low fire glazes that kind of mimic the raku look. Um, but it's not the same. All right. Look at this very good goldfish. He looks so surprised. Okay. Give him some. Fish have kind of hard angles. Excuse me, on their faces. So I'm trying to give him kind of the fish shape. No, Mouse Girl, they do not have this. Like, we just have we have 2 electric kilns, so that we can do bisque fire, and then we do like a cone 04 and then a cone 6, basically. Some of us were talking about trying to figure out how to set up a raku firing sometime, but I don't know if anyone had concrete ideas about that. Yes, one day there will be some pit firing. I hope that will happen. Not here, because I live in California, a land where we have the rainy season, the hot season, and the fire season. So they discourage you digging holes in the ground and setting them on fire for, I feel, obvious reasons. But pit firing is cool because you can do some really cool stuff with burnishing that keeps the sheen, whereas with high firing in a kiln, you essentially lose the sheen because you've changed the way the clay is molecularly arranged. Science. Science-ish, I guess, not science adjacent. I don't really know the full science story there. Just the science summary. Yes, science adjacent. That's Friday tea time. We're science adjacent. It's not science, but it's just right next door. To make the fish into an ocarina, I would have had to have started with him hollow, because the ocarina needs to be hollow. Hollow and of a fairly regular thickness, or you won't get a good noise. I tell you this because once in Seattle, I quizzed a guy who made ocarinas out of clay for like half an hour at a fair. That poor man. He was a good sport. I bought an ocarina because I felt like after that, if I didn't, I was just a huge jerk. I was like, yeah, talk to me about everything that you make. Cool, bye. And having been a vendor, I know how much that hurts. Honestly. Yeah, exactly. Otenchi 3. Sorry, we're not science. They're next door, but we can sign for their packages. Don't worry, we'll make sure they get them. So this is feeling like a pretty good, solid little fish. Feeling pretty happy about my little fish so far. But yeah, I can make a goldfish ocarina, sort of. I don't know how it would sound. I've never tried it before, but the theory I have quizzed a gentleman about at a Seattle craft fair. So, in theory, I can make an ocarina with that balloon that I have. I can take a slab, put it around a balloon, and then and I guess. But see, which end of the goldfish would you blow into? Just a thing to consider, because you know, Mouth, yeah, I feel like mouth to mouth. So you'd be kind of blowing into the fish's face, you know. No, I think the sound would come out maybe through the so an ocarina is sort of a whistle where I'm not going to be able to describe this with my hands, but there's like you're blowing through a hole, but the sound is made through another sort of 45-degree angle hole that you're blowing over, and then there are other holes that you cover to change the pitch. So you'd blow into the mouth, it would come out the gills, and then you'd have holes on like here and here, and those would change the pitch. Is my theory. That's my official theory of goldfish ocarina form. That's just. I think Teddy Bear, that we all think of Legend of Zelda when we hear an ocarina. I feel like that's at least everyone from Gen X upwards. That's our frame of reference for ocarinas. Yeah, so I guess now I'm making a goldfish ocarina uh, at some point. Probably not live on stream because to I need to prep the balloon and roll some slabs, and that bit's really boring to watch, I'm afraid. But that's okay because we can make just dozens of goldfish. We can have a whole sea of goldfish. Speaking of having slabs, we need fins now. So I'm sorry there's no second camera. For those of you that tuned in after my very very beginning intro, it just didn't work today. My computer doesn't believe it exists. I don't know if I dropped it and broke it, or if my computer just decided it doesn't like that camera anymore. But no matter what I did, no part of my computer believed that the camera existed. So I gave up. No second camera. But it's probably fine because we're making goldfish anyway, and mostly I'm going to be in this general focus area. All right. We have goldfish tail. Let's see. Goldfish tail is sort of. Hang on. I need a scale reference. So. Like that. Like that. Okay. Shaped thusly. Quick quail fit. I mean, we had a whole discussion about whether goldfish were, no, not goldfish. We had a bunch of fish that were potentially the quail of the sea. Um, I think we landed on sardines, possibly herring, possibly flying fish. Oh, that's fair. The gold quail is just like it's like a famous religious statue. Okay. Let's fix this a little bit. Get ourselves a goldfish tail. And then stick it on the goldfish. Making sure it's really well attached. It could be because I'm working slightly larger, but I do feel like this is, now that I've got it in a slab, I feel like this is a little bit, it's less likely to hold its slab shape. The grog in the red clay was really helping it, like, hold a stiffer, flat shape, I think. After we've this is your break from camera 2. After traumatizing all of chat with camera 2 and the eyeless gosling. It's good for a break. It's possible the gosling staring broke the camera. It's more likely that the fact that I dropped it immediately before bringing it over here broke the camera. I say I dropped it. I pulled it off a shelf because I forgot that it was plugged into my computer. Ah, no, stop tearing. I have found the weakness of the sand. Yes, I have. It is slabs. It makes, apparently, a cracking slab. Who knew? This is why we test new clay. It's okay, like it's doing that, where when I ask it to sort of support its own weight and stay put, the sand, I think, is weakening its shape. And I'm having trouble getting it to stay on the fish. Okay. For now, we shall hold the fish like this and hope for the best. Squidge it around and see if that does anything. No, it's just, it's just consistently tearing. Interesting. Yeah, it's not the weight of the tail is a problem. Let's see if we can let's see if it's a problem we can solve. First, do some I'll just keep holding it with one finger while I do some shaping here. Trying to get the the background noise is someone at the door, apparently. I don't know what's going on, but I hope it's not too distracting. So, trying to get the tail all set. Cool. Person at the door has been sent away. Later, I will find out what happened. Maybe they are census taking. Maybe they're my neighbor wanting me to move my car. It could be anything. Really. Okay. Let's try to minimize the weight here by essentially making the tail thinner. Thinner, and therefore more fragile, but also lighter weight. Okay. Well, that helped that side a little bit. Let's see if we can get it to help this side too. What? Okay, I'm going to admit that was not the answer to the question that I thought. Apparently, Irish tree arborist asking to shape the tree, which, cool. I guess. It's a nice tree. It's quite a large Japanese maple. But no, is the answer to that. I assume. Well, weird. This is what happens when you have your screen door open. Nobody respects the fact that you don't want to talk to other humans. But it's so nice out. Okay. I think we may be reaching a point where we need to let Goldfish sit. Hmm. Let's get ourselves back. So we want to kind of get the tail joint back to where it needs to be. Because it should be quite a small space, actually. We've added clay now, so we have to get some. Oh, where's hay? Let's just actually trim it away with a tool made just for doing that. Who would have thought? Cool. So I'm just gonna kind of stick them together a little bit. Hopefully that will help support them. Also, I'm going to trim them. I'm going to trim them into more of the shape that I want. Now that I've abused them, put it like this. Aha. Try and reinforce things. Okay. Goldfish. I think we might stick to fish. I don't know. You can always stick a quail in at the end of something. But I'm feeling like I wanna stick to something charming and lovable. Murder is the opposite of harmless. And goldfish are harmless. A fish detective. Oh no, what does he get? Like a little deer stalker hat? What's the deer stalker hat and a pipe? Oh dear. Okay, no, I'm not sculpting a small clay violin. You can't make me. No power on earth will make me sculpt a tiny ceramic violin. That's not happening. I've drawn a firm line. A deerstalker hat, a monocle, a pipe, absolutely. A violin, no. There will be no violins. Okay. Okay, where are we at? We're at 4. Yeah, we got plenty of time. Okay. Let's get this fish to a point where he's more fish. Oh, phone, come back with my fish image. There we go. Okay. I'm just gonna see if I can't finish up his fins anyway. What do I have against tiny stringed instruments? The strings, the tininess, the complexity. It's just all around not for me. Okay. Goldfish upper fin. Let's see. Fish. Yeah, kind of. But less of a point. There we go. Yes, good, like that. I almost put another clay tool in my tea because it's closer than my water. Drawing strings instruments is okay, but only if you don't put glitter on them. That's right. We're to the point of setting ground rules on glitter now. Oh, so much clay on my poor phone. And then I put my passcode in wrong. Cool. Okay. Where is that tool? Just gonna stick this goldfish fin. We're gonna just stick the fins on, and then I think we're gonna start another little goldfish body. Well, this one kind of settles into his fins a bit. I think I'll need to find a way to suspend him while he dries. Nope, just highlights, no glitter. Haha. I don't think I have any fishing line actually. I have wire. I think I might have run out of fishing line. Oh, phone. Phone, stop it. Just keep on the goldfish. Huh. Maybe there is some fishing line around, but I think it would cut through the clay. I think it would be too much like a clay wire, actually. Um, yeah, well, I just impaled the other one on my needle tool, and now I don't have a needle tool until I figure out what to do about that. So, so I'm trying to avoid putting goldfish on my tools as support for the future. Okay. Just get some shaping there. Yeah, I think it's the weight of the tail because the hilarious upper fin doesn't appear to be. Does not appear to have the same cracking problem. So let's see. Put you there for a minute. Okay, front fin is smaller, and then there's the hilariously large. So come down like that, and then they come up like that. Yeah, like that, but with more of a curve. And there. Yeah. Yep. Good. Good. Okay. Where do you attach? Kind of like right in the middle of the fish belly, basically. So like here and here. What adorable meat pies. Oh, tiny and adorable. Well, you did make them for people to eat. So, I mean, technically a success. Wait, if that goes on that side. Yes, okay. Gotta reverse my goldfish properly. There we go. There and there. Fancy goldfish have hilarious goldfish fins. Now I also want a meat pie. But I'd have to make one for myself. Or get it frozen from Trader Joe's. One of those two things. Fancy goldfish are like just... They're fancy. The most fancy. So fancy. Okay. I want my fins to match. Get another fin in there. Yeah. Stabbed him with my fingernail, but it does not appear to have made much damage. Okay. Get some. Oh, phone. I've like turned my phone back on every like 3 minutes this whole time. It's covered in like clay slip now. I'm gonna have to wash its case. But it keeps shutting itself off. Oh, you guys, I have bad news. Put them on upside down. They go like that. With the long side on the bottom. Oops. Guess we'll fix that now. That's right, I just ripped them off. It's they're like that's our first animal trauma of this sculpt. Really? You know, it always happens eventually. Eventually something's been done wrong and has to be corrected. Think of it as surgery in infancy. Yeah, I did not think to alter my phone settings. There is a setting where my phone will not freak out, try and conserve its battery, and turn off its screen like right away if no one's using it. But that's gonna have to wait for the break. For now, just gonna have to keep getting clay on it. I mean, I'm using tools. These are tools. Very good tools. Extremely, extremely effective. I mean, some of these are even dental tools. I'm not sure if that makes it better or worse. Probably worse. But some of them are dental tools. Dental tools make some of the best sculpting tools. Which again, probably shouldn't be a surprise given that that's essentially what they're used for in dentistry. Okay. Getting there, getting there. Oops. Keep my goldfish's face clean. Okay. Get that seems about right. Other side. Close. Fix this bit up a little bit. And just going to hold this here for a second because I feel like my camera is set to something that is too bright, and I'm going to try and fix it. Do. Hooray! That seems easier to look at. Cool. So, just the front fins, which are up by the gills and smaller. Turning my phone back on. All right. So, there. So, sort of just regular fin shape, kind of a regular fin. A little bit lower, like that. Yeah, sorry, that's blurry. Like that. Put that back. Get myself another fin. That is somehow larger than the first one. And stick them on. Still carefully not putting clay into my tea. Have not yet done it. Oh no, do not. Ugh. I broke it off. I was into the sand at the beginning. I'm starting to be a little bit less into the sand, it turns out. Starting to be a little bit annoyed with the sand. Oh, come back. Okay. But that's okay. It's important to learn things about clay we've never used before. And one of the things that I'm learning is that I do not intend to keep buying this clay. Does not best serve my sculpture style. Could use probably some more support. I suspect it's that the sand bonds less with the clay than the grog does, so that the sand makes the thinner shapes brittle, so it's less likely to crack, but more likely to just tear completely. Oh no, from the front he looks so concerned. Poor concerned goldfish. Don't worry. Everything will be fine. Concerned goldfish. You don't have to be concerned. I do want less of this, though. Just sort of, there we go. That's better. Nope, still too big. Still too much fin. There, that's sort of more like it. I'm gonna pull off a little bit of that. I mean, that's, yeah, it is living a concerning life so far, I suppose. But But soon, everything will be fine. And in my defense, it did not have fins to start, so it's only the agony of creation. Soon it will be fully formed. Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of effort to become a fully formed goldfish. It'll be baked twice. Uh, First at a much lower temperature, and then at a temperature of about 2,100 degrees. 2,200, 2,100, about there. And then it will be. But once that's happened, it will be forged in fire and impervious to time. A goldfish made eternal. So there. Forged to stone in the fires of 1,000 suns, etc., etc., and so forth. As you do. Okay. We've reached, I believe, a point where we are going to have to go back and address this tail. I'm going to attempt, I think it's stiff enough now that I can maybe safely attempt to do some shaping on it. I am hoping, because goldfish have split tails. Like that. I think. Unless I'm like super wrong, in which case I will. Nope, that definitely looks like that's what's in the picture. Yep, split tails. I was correct. Good. I had a moment of doubt. No, I think we're gonna be kind of delicate with the tail actually, because I have concerns. So we're gonna kind of keep it like that. I just wanted to make sure that I separated it and then kind of did what I could to strengthen and clean up the inside so that it's a little bit sturdier, I hope. I hope. So yeah, we're gonna bake the fish. Twice baked fish. But he'll come out stronger than ever. You know, impervious to the whims of dampness and temperature. Okay. Just trying to do what I can and be careful not to break what I've already done. Okay. That feels like the best that we're going to get out of that. That feels like about, we can do the top, kind of tidy that up, but that feels kind of like all we're going to manage without causing more harm than good, shall we say. So So let's give this fish some details to start with. We'll give texture to the tail gently, because then we're just going to have to fix it again in a second. There we go. Then create a harder join where the tail and the body meet. So that there's a distinct difference. So that we can have a clear start to the tail ribs. There we go. Clean this up. And now, I think we're gonna have to try and do some juggling here where I do the rest of this without touching the tail really. So that's gonna be interesting. I think I'm up for it. I think I can manage. I say that, but now I have to do these fins somehow. Okay. Nope, nope. Don't tear off the fins. You'll defeat the purpose. Good. It's one side. So, oh, it started to tear off. Oh, sand. I was so prepared to like you. I was prepared to be all about you, sand, but you're problematic. Problematic, and I'm not happy about it. Okay, just trying to patch a crack. There we go. I think. Do this side even more gently. And then now why is this so much? I guess because of the way it's attached. It's just so much sturdier than the others. The dorsal fin is the strongest fin. Trying to hold it, trying to keep it in my sweet focus window, because as we've learned in the past, if I turn off manual focus, it will never focus on me holding it right here, thus defeating the whole purpose. And that's not ideal. So and texture on the upper fin. Almost. Good. Okay. This is the safest way to hold the goldfish, it turns out. Okay, let's see. What do we need? We need scales. You know I've got scale texture already. all ready to go. Goldfish scales. Oh no, I have to do the other side. Okay. The safest way to hold your goldfish. Goldfish scales. Yeah, I actually feel like the size of this mesh is, it was a little large, but it's pretty much to scale. Now, eh, and now he has eyeballs, and he needs his little fish nostrils, because of course. And goldfish. I don't have the faintest idea how I'm going to support this goldfish while he dries. I'm going to have to think of something. I'm going to delicately reopen the tail again. Okay, goldfish. Help me out here. What do I have just sitting around? I have a spoon, a toothpick, newspaper I don't think is going to be sturdy enough. Nope, that won't work. It's just asking for trouble. I have cups. They're not the right size, really. I feel like I need to, like the other goldfish, suspend him on a stick. So I'm just gonna sacrifice this tool. You know what, guys? Just don't watch. Don't look. See, it's fine. Everything is fine. I'm gonna be creative about this. This is a cup of what was slip. It's getting kind of dry. Just gonna use that as goldfish support, and that's. I apologize about the sudden sunlight. My curtain doesn't go quite far enough. So yeah, he's gonna suspend there for now. That seems safe. All right. So now we have decisions to make. Yeah, he's now a fish stick. You'll never know because I did it completely off screen. You can't say that happened for sure. He's just on a stick now. It just happened. I can't imagine how that happened. It's fine. So every fish, it's true. At this point, every fish I make, a tool gets sacrificed to support the fish. I haven't had the needle tool for weeks. Now I don't have that tool. The next tool I think will be this one. Although this is a quite useful tool. But it is also a really good spike. It will. I can't give up this tool. It's my favorite. So I use that one for everything. No, not quail. Goldfish. We're making goldfish. But the question is, what kind of goldfish do you want the detective goldfish to be? Oh yeah, it's like a pottery challenge. Can you make a goldfish with just definitely not a spatula and a sponge? Okay, okay, what do we consider the googly-eyed ones? Because there are the googly-eyed ones that are like this one, where they've got like the sort of like eye mount. And then there are the googly-eyed ones where they've got the huge bubbles under their eyes, which are just the most broken animals the world has ever known. Yeah, that fish is impaled all the way through. Both the fish are impaled. All the fish are impaled. Okay, so neither of those fish. Okay. Uh, those are good monocle fish though. Okay, let's see. Let's abuse my phone some more. So, whoa, Etsy, how did that happen? Stop it. Um, oh, it's a photo for sale. So it's those. Those are that's the one the little one. Um, so the lumpy-headed ones though, can he wear a hat, or will that just be in the way? Um, what are, so there's okay. So there's two kinds of lumpy-headed goldfish. There's Orinda, which have that kind of a lumpy head, but a fin. And then there's the lion-headed ones, which don't have a fin on their back and have full lumpy faces. So, full lumpy faces or just lumpy head with fin? Oh, the lion-headed ones, the ones with the full lumpy faces and no fin on their back. Those. That's the vote. Let's see if I can find a better picture. No, this seems like the best picture. So we all up for this magic? Okay. Chat seems fairly united in their support for lumpy lion-headed no back fin goldfish. So off we go. I'm gonna wash my hands. Well, not just gonna move this goldfish farther away from me. Just we'll break the goldfish I've already made. Cool. Good. We have a plan. And then we will give him a pipe and a monocle and a detective hat. And he'll be Detective Goldfish. Hot on the trail of murder quail. Just for reference, this is my phone case now. Okay. So let's start with a nice fat body. This clay I've already gotten into a sort of a ball. Let's see if I can't make a better orb. That's better. Okay, and they're a little bit longer. And they are just as round. And just as oddly hunchbacked. I don't know if murder quail is I just want to make the joke that murder quail is more like the penguin. Sorry. Sorry. I'm not actually sorry. I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I have no regrets. All right. They're a little bit. I don't know if they're actually sort of more droopy, or if it's just that the lack of back fin makes it like way more obvious. But it feels like they just droop more. I'm gonna do an experiment. I'm gonna sort of pre-divide this and hope that that's a better base later for the tail. Although they have smaller, more efficient looking tails actually. Oh, I'm going to assume that those heart emojis are for my penguin joke. That's my assumption, and I'm sticking to it. You can't convince me otherwise. I'm convinced of the quality of my own joke. Oh, nope. It's the best joke. See, this is why you're not getting quail, everyone. It's because Auntie Shepherd is literally, as I'm doing this, trolling me with bad typography. If that's what you're gonna do, I'll do it back. You can't have any quail, you can only have goldfish. See how you like it? I don't know. These two things don't connect in any way, but I've chosen to make them. Okay. So I've kind of done his head and body separately because he has such a sort of distinctive head. Like it's divided into kind of four nodes. So like he's got sort of there and there, and then he's got these cheeks, like these great sort of round goldfish cheeks. And then yeah, so kind of like a little bit less. Little bit less. Just trim some off. So yeah, good. Kind of like that. I will remove a bit more. Dig out the center. There we go. Yes, just because there's such a defined line between head and body in this particular goldfish. Oh, hello, Necrobuffalo. So yeah, we're gonna just every time you see my hand fly off screen on that side, that's me. That's me turning my phone back on. I promise that when I take a break here in a bit to make more tea, I will fix my phone so that it doesn't keep turning itself off. Oh no, happy birthday, teddy bear. Don't forget that it's your birthday. Give yourself something special. Get some cake or something. Okay. Feel like we'll add a little bit of clay here in a second for the gills because they kind of come in like that, like there, and then kind of there. This bit feels about right. Get add some yes. The inevitable having to actually do a thing at your job. Ah, who makes you work on like a Friday afternoon? Okay. Um, I say that, but I joke about having cake on your birthday, but I actually don't really celebrate mine super much either. Um, it feels weird. It feels like a weird thing to celebrate. I give myself the gift of not having to deal with people generally for my birthday. And it's a good gift. All right. I'm trying to kind of get the right ethos for this goldfish's little mouth because he needs to have a pipe. So, and then let's see. Eyes are kind of here, here. But they're kind of now. How are we gonna do the texture? Hmm. Hmm. More crinkly. That has potential. Yeah. Just give you crinkly paper texture all over. Yeah, we'll see. Yes, the bestest gift. Not having to deal with people. Birthday is for people who don't really like being the center of attention anyway. Ah, when they sing to you in restaurants, it's the worst. It's the worst thing. Do not like it. Oh, I let my phone go for too long, and it's turned itself off. I will fix it, I swear. Okay. Just trying to kind of get the shape because it squishes more onto the body. It's more, yeah, it's more like that where it kind of fits directly on. Yeah, it's to be fair, it's a good time to do some crafts at home. It's a good time to stay at your house. Do some art, maybe some gardening, you know, some stuff you've been putting off. Hello, Octopus Gallery. Um, coming in just for the sombrero anecdote. That must have been a great sombrero. I like I like that birthday hats is the thing that's brought all of the lurkers back into chat. They're like, oh no, it was fine. We didn't have anything to say, but now let me tell you about this birthday hat. Oh dear. Oh wow, a fancy sombrero, like a cowboy movie villain sombrero. Okay, working here on just the right little pouty fish mouth for yeah, that's getting there. But yeah, it has to be just the right contemplative fish mouth for Detective Goldfish, the lion-headed fancy goldfish. Um, actually, Auntie Shepherd, we're there. I can now make a custom emote. Next week I was gonna have a poll about them, um, but I will because Octopus Gallery is here. I will. We've already made this fish. I will share our previous fish. I haven't had. I can't make you all of the things all of the time. Maybe you'll get a sheep guana emote if you stop trolling me with bad typography on Twitter. Did you ever think of that? Using every tool in my toolbox now, people. Every time I go to bed, I wake up and something else is like 6 fonts and rainbow and sparkling, and I don't know what to do. Okay. Uh-oh, are we trying to put a sombrero and a huge mustache on a fish now? What's happened? Okay. Uh, hmm. Ah, this is the tool. This is the actual tool that I need. Oh, and my phone went dead again. Gotta keep rocking. Okay. So. Their eyes are kind of like here. They're not indented exactly. They're still kind of on. It's look, it's confusing. They're like they're being overhung by wrinkly forehead is what's happening. I'm not sure that the best part, Auntie Shepherd, is that you're doing it on purpose. Oh dear. Okay. Hmm. make them even. Yes, that's close. Let me make them even. It's a fancy goldfish. The eyes are uneven. That's its least of its problems. Oh dear, what's... Ah, okay, good. Chat's just trying to get Octopus Gallery to move. That's fine. That's safe. I don't have to I don't have to convince them why that's a bad idea. Okay. No, stop installing fonts. You have enough fonts. At this rate, I'm going to start making decorative bespoke fonts that just say stop and no and why. Okay. We need to give him little fish eyebrows, kind of, I think. Kind of. Yes. It's just make sure that that's like... Because he's fish detective, I want him to look a little grumpy. There we go. Hello, Hannah. My mod is here. My sick mod is back to moderate you guys. Sure. So yeah, it's sort of an angry goldfish. I've made him angry based entirely on a single bit of clay and our ability to personify eyebrows. You have been behaving very well, chat. Good work. You haven't needed moderating at all. Okay. Ah, grumpy goldfish. He's so mad. I'm gonna do like a little bit of... He needs better cheeks. Just gonna give him a little cheek texture here. Oh yeah, he's got more cheek on one side than the other. We can't have that. Just fix that. Yeah, that's better. That's basically what they look like. Oh, he's so mad. Look at his mad little face. Okay, a little bit there. All right, feels pretty good. 47 meters under uncaged is not actually a shark documentary. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay. So, his little fins come there and there. And Actually, I think we need more clay on the back. I think because well, well, maybe not. Maybe it's fine. We'll just add a little bit of forehead texture. Oh no, the sun came out and ruined my camera focus. Why? Such a dramatically lit goldfish now. Yeah, I have subscriptions and channel points and a dramatic goldfish detective. And my phone that keeps turning off. Phone, I need your visual of this goldfish. How else will I make it look like a sort of real goldfish? Okay. I don't feel like you can see their little goldfish nostrils really. Do they kind of have cheek texture up by their little goldfish mouths? And then this bit seems pretty sort of standard goldfish. The bottom form of their jaw. Oh, he's so mad. Yeah, making emoji might be the next digital art stream. I'm not sure exactly. I might also make some and then let people sort of vote. Unfortunately, a lot of them are gated behind subscriptions, which annoys me because I'd rather you join my Patreon. But we'll see if I can figure out how to make it all work. Well, it's sort of between quail and sheep guana as the main one. Quail seems to be the most shouted thing. Okay. Let's just try and finish up the general. I'm feeling pretty good about the general form here of our angry goldfish. Let's make a tail. I don't know what send message in sub only mode does. I'm not a great streamer, you guys. I don't know how any of this works. I admit. Hannah knows. My moderator knows how Twitch works, which is for the best. I'm too old to be super tech savvy. No, that's not. I just spend all of my computer knowledge on Adobe products, really. I think there's just a setting where I can set up a subscriber only chat room. I think I can just turn it on. But that seemed silly. And frankly, like something that I wouldn't be able to keep up with. Okay. Let's see. Comparatively, they've got nice fat little tails. Oh, it's like a little butterfly. Yeah, I kind of I haven't been super. I just sort of looked through the settings and I was like, I'll figure this out later. And then stuff happened, and then I did not figure it out later. I know, shocking. Okay. Yeah, I get that you might want to encourage subscriptions for sort of a more quiet, private setting of chat, I guess, but I don't feel the need. But yeah, here's a fun fact. If you're watching this and have a, you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription from your Amazon Prime account. And if you want to use it to subscribe to me, Amazon will give me money. So so that's a thing that you can do to help support me without putting any effort in at all. Oh yeah, but only if will it only give me if I hit $100? Oh my god. Otherwise it keeps all of the money. Oh for fuck. Not cursing, family friendly, but that's some BS. I did not know that either. I did not know that either, and I am unimpressed. Although, uh, sort of just it seems like the kind of thing, now that I think about it, that Amazon would do. Amazon Amazon is not here for us. It's here for Amazon. For sure. But but even amongst things that Amazon does, that feels like a surprising lie. Like that's I would have assumed that that would go to whoever you subscribe to. Um, so so Amazon is a jerk, is what I'm saying. But also, there's a Patreon. You can join the Patreon, where I will post things that I don't post on Twitter, which I feel you should all just appreciate how hard that is. I am the kind of person that's like, I made a thing. Look at the thing that I made, and sometimes I only show it to the people on Patreon, and that takes a lot of self-restraint. Um, but yeah, if you do use your Prime thing, you will have access to the fancy emoji. Ugh, my plan to make the tail work better has not done so. Uh, Sand still a problem. Still a problem. Try. Oh dear. I did not rip his tail off. It fell off. Structural issues. I am trying to put it back on. This thing that I just did, however, was a little bit violent, I admit. Okay. Let's hope that it stays attached. Do, do, do. Okay. So. So we have to do the fins first because while they are also fiddly, the tiny decorative features are going to be the most fragile, and they're going to be impossible to work around. So no, it's so so we want to get the sort of body all set before we start adding tiny things like a pipe. There's no violin. You don't get a violin. I told you there's no no. A firm no on violins. It's true. I was not any happier about sculpting a tiny concertina, honestly. I will draw you any of those things. But I will not sculpt you a violin, a cello, a viola, or a concertina. We don't have the time. We don't have the time or the patience. It's simply not worth it. Okay. We're gonna call this tail we're gonna stick it together at the top to give it some support, and we're gonna call it good enough for now. I let it get a little bit damp, so we're just gonna give it some support and deal with it later. Grumpy fish. Put him down. Turn my phone back on. Do. The musical murder quail group. You say lute. I say, I don't know, maybe he plays the banjo. You don't know. Anyway. No violin. And yet one more thing. Okay. So, we need some more fins. We're going to do those fins, and then I'm going to take my short break to make some more tea because this tea has gone very cold. And I need to set my phone so that it stops turning itself off. In the middle of what I'm trying to do. Glitter banjo is definitely like, I don't know, a southern country girl bluegrass band. Is bluegrass punk a thing? Feels like bluegrass glam folk rock. Yeah. The most glam folk rock. Okay, let's see. We need some fish fins. Just gonna sort of cheat generally here? What are the best? These are the thinner ones. Okay. So. That. And that. And then. How did I shape the other? Okay, it's that way. And then that way. So long side, curve, and then there. Yes, good. Fins. Now, I'm a rhinestone cowboy. Am I the artist that made the bird? I might be. I might be the artist that made the bird pod on your shelf. That's a true story. I also make goldfish. Okay. Sometimes I also make fancy goldfish. Angry. Look, I'm still not over his little expression yet. Sometimes I make angry fancy goldfish. Yeah, the sheep teapot is out of its bisque fire and looks quite nice. Pretty pleased with how it fired its first firing. So that means it will probably be fine for its second, which means there will probably be an actual teapot that does not structurally fail. And that's exciting. Okay. Fins. Trying to make sure they're well attached because the sand. And then, let's see. What is happening? Don't encourage her font choices. Why would you betray me like that, my own chat? I thought you were on my side. Okay, actually, I feel like that needs to be a smaller fin, and I feel like I just knocked one of those fins off when I put him down. Oh, new clay. Yep, needs to be smaller. That's right, I'm pulling them off again. Oh dear. Such fish violence. That's right. More fish violence. Look, I'm just saying, Chad, that you should support good graphic design. That's just I actually quite like typography. She's hurting my soul. She's hurting my typography soul. Okay. Let's get. There we go. Upside down. Yeah, that's how you get to sit. That seems safe. I need smaller fins. Lion-headed goldfish are a little bit less fancy. Turns out they reserve their hilarious fanciness for their foreheads, pretty much. They have smaller, daintier fins. uh, See, Ursula understands my typography pain. Okay. And I have to remember that the long side goes down, down. Yes. Okay. This is easier because I can hold this one without crushing the fin on top. Because there isn't one. Thanks, lion-headed goldfish. I'm making this just slightly easier. Get some fins. Make sure they're well attached. Don't break them off again. Don't break them off again is the mantra for the rest of this goldfish making. Now that the fins are on, don't ruin it. Make sure they're really well attached. And then don't make them worse. Okay, so here's our angry lion-headed goldfish. Which I've just learned to make Mouse Girl upset. Well, it's too late now. Oh yeah, the celestials with the bubbles under their eyes are just bad. So, goldfish, ready for his detective additions. I'm gonna let him set for a bit while I take my important break to boil more water to make more tea. I'm gonna set him gently upside down where he is. I need a drier sponge. Here's a dry sponge. That way he won't get soggy. We don't want a soggy goldfish. That'd be weird. Okay. So. While Auntie Shepherd downloads 2,000 more fonts, I'm going to take a quick break to make some more tea. No, goldfish. Okay, I say I'm going to take a quick break. First, I'm going to find a way to defend my goldfish. I'm going to put this here. And this here. Good. Okay. No, goldfish. So, goldfish is safe, I think. I'm going to make some more tea, take my quick break. I will be back in a few minutes. We're going to run late today, I think, because I started quite late as I was trying to work out why my second camera stopped working, which I never did. So we'll probably go for another hour. I'll be back in a few minutes with more tea and hopefully a goldfish that's ready to have a monocle, a deerstalker cap, and a pipe, and no violin. While I'm gone, maybe think about the third goldfish. I think we'll probably have time for a third goldfish. So consider what you want to have happen with the third goldfish. And I will put the break time banner on and see you in a minute. Well, a few minutes. You know, soon. Be right back. And I have returned with tea and a phone that should not auto-turn itself off. How exciting. I see that we've been encouraging Auntie Shepherd while I was gone. But yay, Octopus Gallery, do embroider while we... Co-working is fun. As long as we're not in the same room. Co-working in the same room is just distracting. So yeah, we are back. We're going to turn this guy into a detective, which means I have to find an image of a deer stalker. Oh, good. A Wikipedia entry. Oh, yes, it ties the top. I see. Deer stalker. Good. So, I think we're probably a little bit more secure, maybe? Maybe not. Well, it is what it is. You can stay there, little goldfish. We'll make your hat from up above and just stick it on. You see, I find other humans quite distracting for the most part. I have a tendency to get no work done. We'll be like, let's have a craft day, and I'll be like, cool, I'll just bring this crocheting and then not do it. How about that? How about I will just sit and talk to you instead? But I'm self-employed and work at a desk in my house, and my cat doesn't really interrupt me because I gave him a cat bed with a heating pad under it, so he's quite happy to stay exactly where the heating pad is, or he sits on my roommate because, you know, people. Yes, remote work is glorious. See, yeah, you just wait for it, Necker Buffalo. When your cat's about 15, he stops interrupting and mostly just sleeps. Oh, is he? Where is? No, he's in his cat bed. He's in his heated cat bed. I guess the sun hasn't been down for long enough. um, this feels like it might be not enough hands. This feels like it might be too big. Yes, too big. Kind of questioning the hat. I wonder if the hat ruins the excellentness of the head. I wonder if the hat is necessary. I wonder out loud because I'm doing it for you, chat. So, I wonder. Oh, yeah, your cats are wee children, Necro Buffalo. They are excited and energetic about everything. I mean, we could do a different. So it's less about the other features and more about the hat because the head is so good. Like, I guess the hat could be like all the way back here, kind of. I do like fish in hats. You're right, the hat should be hilariously tiny. I found the solution. 100% correct. Hilariously tiny hat is the answer. Definitely hilariously tiny hat. Oh, Necro Buffalo, you named your cats Jeeves and Wooster. That's adorable. Yes, Fishlock, you're right. Fishlock Holmes and Watts Finn are the winning Sherlock goldfish puns for sure. Good work. Um, Also, Jeeves and Wooster are the best cat names. That is also true fact. I need I need the tools that are propping my fish up. Is what's happening. Oh well, it's fine. Speaking of fish wearing tiny hats, my favorite children's book is "This Is Not My Hat." You should all look it up. It's glorious, and I love it. My cat came with the name Jack, and I was gonna change it, but then he turned out to be Jack. And there wasn't anything I could do about it. It's just absolutely his personality. I was gonna give him a fancy name. I'm gonna give him dignity, but he did not. He did not deserve dignity. Just some cats don't. Some cats don't get to have dignity. That's just the way they are. Making this hilariously tiny hat. Let's see. I guess I need a hilariously tiny like bow on top. Pretty much. But it's getting there. Oh, Caps, yeah, by my cat's full name, because he has a full name, is Jackson Brown Vaz. Esquire. The Esquire is a long running joke about his law degree. Because, if you can't invent funny stories about your pets, then are you truly enjoying them? Okay. Little hat brim. There have to be enough details you see in the hilariously small hat to sell the deer stalker visual, even though it is hilariously small. Also, it's hilariously small enough that I need to. It's time. It's time to bring out the glasses. We've reached a scale my eyes my eyes need assistance with. Are we still in? I can't see you guys now when I have these on, by the way. So technically, chat, you're unattended again. Um, I can't see far enough away to read the screen. But I can see the very tiny details of this hat. And that's the important thing. Okay, almost done with tiny hat. Just got to make sure that it's clear that this is a flap that comes up the side, because that's how a deer stalker does. And then it ties on the top. And then I guess you could untie it and have ear flaps, is the point. I don't know that I've ever seen it worn that way. Still can't read chat. Still have no idea what's happening. One moment, and I will take the reading glasses off. Ironically, be able to read the screen again. Okay. That feels good. Take the glasses off. Ah, quail violins while I'm not looking. I see what's happened. So Meatball, for some reason, on his original vet paperwork, was marked as a ball python instead of a dog. That is a big difference. And then they spelled his name Meat Space Ball on the license, so he's Mr. Ball. I like it. Excuse me. Need some tea there. Okay, tiny bow. This is going to be exciting. I like how you've moved on to Photoshop brushes, Shep, but you have to understand that I have so many Photoshop brushes that no Photoshop brush you find will surprise me. So many Photoshop brushes. Oh, am I going to be able to make this small enough? Nope. Nope. Not like that. Just going to keep rolling a tiny string of clay. No, Photoshop brushes are good. Keep looking at Photoshop brushes. Okay. Oh, sand. Okay. Sand is equally problematic in tiny tubes. But I think that it's probably nope. It's all come apart. You know what? Do you know what I have? Chat, I have other clay everywhere. I have so much other clay. Let's just cheat, shall we? Let's take a little bit of that. I don't think this is actually the same. This is definitely not the same buff. It's recycled. I think it's stoneware and not buff without sand, but whatever. It's fine. Oh no, a snake with a broken hip. That would have been a whole other thing. Okay, let's see if we can get this to work any better at this hilariously small scale. Okay, tiny bow. Yep, without the sand, it still wants to shatter, but not as bad. So it'll do. Just a whole different clay. It'll probably not come off. But who knows? Maybe it will. We won't know until later. But it's certainly easier to form into a tiny bow. And as that is what we are currently doing, I say it's a win. There we go. And on top of this hat, put a little bit of slip, kind of. Yep. And then I know it's sort of an enormous bow, but like that's about as small as you're gonna get before it starts to come apart. So I'll just try and do the best job we can keeping it delicate. Okay. Can probably trim that later, but for now, that's what we're gonna get. Oh no. Logo design for $5. Okay. Um, hmm. Hmm. Fish handling. Here. Handling with care. Okay, but like back here, because I don't want to disrupt his very good. There we go. Now he has a hat. We'll add detail to the hat when it's a little bit more leather hard. I'll draw into it a little bit. Maybe make it checkered with delicate lines. But for now, there's the hat. So, it's becoming harder and harder to figure out how to support the goldfish. Nope, 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 the other way. Okay, goldfish. Now let's see. Such a grumpy fish with a tiny hat. Okay, so why the monocle, chat? You were pretty into the monocle, but like that's not a Sherlock Holmes thing. Oh no. Tragedy. Tragedy occurred, but it's fine. Just put you like that for now. Because Sherlock Holmes does not wear a monocle. Peter Wimsey in the 1930s detective stories wears a monocle, but they are not the same detective. So explain it to me while I make a pipe. Explain why you want a monocle. Just convince me, is what I'm saying. Oh, confirmation. Egg scissors for quail eggs do make opening the eggs easier. Okay. Pipe. Shape. I'm experimenting with how to not run into the same problems with the cracking. And my thought is to not roll the clay. So to never change its shape and never put it under any under any pressure. It will look like a pipe soon, I say. With unearned confidence. Okay. Unearned confidence and like all the clay tools. A nice lady shoe. Um, so what I'm seeing is that chat doesn't know why they want a monocle. It just seems like the thing to do. It's just a fair assessment. And now we've just learned there are machines for peeling hard-boiled quail eggs. I mean, but does it not sort of confuse the detective? I guess we're just going for all the detective information, all the detectives. Yeah, get to know nature. I mentioned Peter Wimsey when I was questioning the monocle, as not being Sherlock Holmes. Although he is definitely a British literary detective, so it could just be an amalgam. Goldfish detective represents all detectives. You don't have to be sorry to get to know nature. I'm willing to bring up Peter Wimsey over and over again. I actually really enjoy those books. How in the world is he going to use a magnifying glass? He is a goldfish. Maybe that's why he needs a monocle. Because he can't hold a magnifying glass. Okay. Getting closer to pipe. Almost there. Gonna try and make it look like it's a hollow pipe thing. He knocks it. It just floats in front of him. He just pushes it around. Yeah, but a quail with a knife in its foot can like flail that around. But you have to look through a magnifying glass. Oh, huh. Apparently that metal tube was full of clay. Who knew? Okay. I mean, to be clear, I was always gonna do the monocle. I just wondered where it came from. Just then, suddenly, after that whole time, I was like, wait a minute. Sherlock Holmes doesn't have a monocle. Okay, pipe. Just shorten the pipe stem a little bit here. Pipe. Shorter and thinner. Just thin it down a little bit. Can't go too much thinner or I'll become concerned about its structural integrity. But we can go to about there, I think. And maybe that will be sufficient. Kind of try and, there we go, get the shape back. So, which side? This side? This side. Just gonna stick that pipe on. Sideways. Sideways, yes. Makes perfect sense, sure. Yeah, fish with a pipe makes perfect sense. Blows bubbles. It's bubble pipe. Okay. That's probably all that we can safely do with that. All right, we were having to lay on our fish sides. May need to support that pipe. This goldfish is becoming more and more complicated to take care of. That's fine. Okay. Monocle. Monocle is a problem. Monocle. Monocle. I need too big. I need a tool and I don't have one. I need a tool that doesn't exist. Is this too big for a monocle? It's a little bit big for a monocle. Maybe it's an okay starting point for a monocle. Maybe. He is a little bit high maintenance, this fish. I probably have other tubes that work, but they are far away. In tube storage. So we're gonna just work with what we've got. Okay. The trick is it basically has to be perfectly round, or it'll just be confusing. But if it's too thin and small, it will fall apart. And that won't be helpful either. The tubes are stored in a cardboard poster roll. In my bedroom for some reason. That's where the tubes live. I don't know why that's where the tubes ended up, but you know, what can you do? Okay. Now I think I just need to kind of carefully trim this down. Try the new clay, I said to myself. You haven't used it yet and you have so much of it. Ah, curses. Start over. Okay. Let's see. Start with it thicker this time, I think. And then we have to trim it. Starting with the trimming thicker as well. Oh, and I almost ruined it a second time. Small, thin things in ceramic are not ideal. Here's your fun fact for today. And they're especially not ideal in apparently this particular clay. So, you know, that's a thing. Now the question is, how am I going to make this actually round? We may not get a monocle. The monocle may have to be a researched edition. With more effort put into figuring out how to cut out the perfect circle, because this is not working. Yeah, I could just make a tiny monocle and put it on after firing. That is a possibility. Tell you what, instead of a monocle, we will do a magnifying glass that you can't see through because it's not going to have a hole. Magnifying glass will be. No violins. Not making a violin. Speaking of tiny parts that make things harder, a violin would be just exactly that kind of thing. But what we can do is cut out a circle, and then give it a sort of central divot. So that it's got the divide between the glass and the rim of the magnifying glass going on. We can trim that a little bit later to make it a little bit rounder at the very edge. And then it needs a handle. I'm anti-sculpting tiny stringed instruments because it was very hard to just make that pipe, for example, at that scale. So the smaller it gets, the harder it is to make the clay do anything detailed and fiddly. You know, like make a violin. So it is in fact possible to ask for a thing that is wrong for the medium we are working in. And some people would do it anyway. And that would be their thing, and we would be impressed. We would all be super impressed by it, and it would be amazing. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm not that person. I'm not gonna be the person that devotes my life to figuring out how to make tiny stringed instruments in stoneware clay. More power to the person who chooses to do that. I'm sure their work will be amazing. I'll be unutterably impressed. But I'm just going to make this tiny magnifying glass and be happy with that. Because frankly, it was hard enough. Okay. Tiny magnifying glass. Just gonna make sure that that's really well attached. Add some details a little bit later when I can draw into it. And let's see, does it go pointing down or up? Feels like down. Feels like kind of there. Makes the most sense. Like, yes, that makes the most sense. I am going to make sure that it is sort of well attached. I did not score and slip because it's just so small that I felt like that would be a lost cause. But I'm going to try hard to adhere it where it touches. Okay, good. And now I think we're firm enough in the fins that we can do the fin details that we need. Had the nope. Spoke too soon. Still got to be careful. It turns out. Okay. Make sure that we've got that hard divide between body and tail. Here. sure we've got tail texture. Good. Other side. So careful. So careful not to break the goldfish. Must be careful with the goldfish tail, although it's pretty firm now. Good. And scales. Firm in the fins. He's a very fit goldfish. Gets a lot of exercise. Okay. Scales. Making sure not to break anything off of the goldfish. Scales. Hooray! And we still have a magnifying glass, a pipe, and a hat. Okay. I'm going to say that we have accomplished that thing. So, lion-headed goldfish. With a hat. Grumpy lion-headed goldfish with a hat, a pipe, and a magnifying glass. Detective Goldfish. Detective Goldfish is now a thing that exists. What we're gonna do with him? I've run out of impaling tools. I was gonna use this one. This one. So the thing about the impaling, before you get mad at me, is that they also have to be fired. And these fins are so fragile that I worry that if I rest them on the fins while firing, they'll just break. They'll warp and break. So, just gonna go off screen again. It's fine. Everything is fine. See how fine it is? Uh-oh. But now what do I do with it? I'm also running out of things to... Okay, I'm gonna hold this in one hand, take a drink of tea. Will you also fit in this cup, or is the cup too... Okay, yes, the cup is sturdy. The cup is strong. The cup can handle it. Good. Good. The cup can handle 2 goldfish. See, I need the wad of clay. We've got 15 minutes left. And you know what happens when we've got, like, no time left and we've got but some clay. So here's... It's a 2-fish cup. So yeah, so here's the conundrum, chat. You can have a quail or you can have another goldfish. Which I see many people already shouting quail. But I want you to have the option. You can have quail or you can have another quick little goldfish. I see no one has voted for goldfish. Excellent. It's good to know. It's good to know that either peer pressure or genuine enthusiasm has made quail a unanimous choice. So yes, quail. The consensus is quail. So, so what's special about this quail? Ah, sombrero. I see a vote for quail and a sombrero. I see quail and a sombrero as a popular request. We got 2 votes for sombrero, 3 votes for sombrero. Maybe a mustache. Okay. Let's get ourselves a basic quail. I've learned from hats that that quail need to be posed in such a way that the hat does not overbalance them. So I think what we need is a fairly upright, proud sort of quail. So I think we're gonna actually push a little bit outside of our normal quail form to try and make quail in hat a success. Because I tried to make quail in a lady hat, and quail in a lady hat just kept falling over. In fact, she was so unbalanced that that even when I took the hat off, she kept falling over. And now she lives with Auntie Shepherd, being supported by another quail who is of the right height and scale to keep her upright. Okay. Just kind of, I want a proud, upright quail. There we go. They are mocking Henry. See, they found their true calling. They're brought together by their mutual distaste for Thoreau. So Tiramas. In general, the reason that clay explodes is because there is still moisture trapped inside. For the goldfish, we'll just bring them onto the screen here. For the goldfish, they are currently about an inch and a half to an inch to inch and a half at its thickest point, which is kind of on the edge of the thickest you want to be, but should be okay. The trick is to make sure that they dry long enough that there's no more moisture left inside. The hole that I've stabbed in them will actually help, because it will help any moisture to escape as steam without cracking the clay. Anything that's thicker than about an inch or an inch and a half needs to be hollow. That is why you frequently during streams see me digging the inside out of things I have made. Like this quail, for example, will eventually have to be cored, for lack of a better term. So that's why for large pieces I'll have like a balloon and a structure inside, and then I will pull all of its innards out. I recognize that this is a traumatic experience for everyone involved, but otherwise they will explode in the kiln. Because if you can make something thick enough that no matter how long you wait, the moisture at the very center will never be able to work its way free. There's just too much clay between it and the outside air. And then it will crack in the kiln. So, luckily I have not had any issues with anything cracking in the kiln firing so far. besides sort of some occasional small cracks where joins were, because joins also have a tendency to separate, because as things fire, they do shrink and warp, and if things aren't joined well, that can come apart as well, which is why I score things. You see me like, where's that tool? You see me using this tool to scratch things. That's trying to make every joint I do stronger so that they don't separate when I fire them. I source my clay from the clay store, from a local store. Supplies a variety of kinds of clay, but also the studio that I work at and fire at, we have just tubs of recycled clay, and if you're willing to dry it, wedge it, and make it usable, you can just use that recycled clay whenever you want. It's kind of a pool of everyone's recycled clay. I'm trying to make this quail shaped again because I kind of, in my effort to make him upright, sort of accidentally made him every other bird. So I'm trying to get back to quail here. Need to get back to the football shape. Wedging is great arm exercise. It's no, I don't dig my own clay. I live in a city. And there's quite a lot of processing involved if you dig your own clay, because you need to strain out all the impurities, let it dry completely, pound it into powder, and then reconstitute it with the right amount of water to make a usable clay. And for example, how this has sand in it, or the other clay that I was using has grog in it, grog being crushed already fired clay. So I'd have to make those additions myself if I dug my own clay. That is quite a lot of effort. Okay, I'm gonna try and, we're getting there. I don't know why this quail pose is causing me such trouble. There we go. That feels like a quail at last. We've got more of a quail shape now. Yeah, the sand is actually okay for this. But yeah, so my official buff with sand review is no. Not a fan. Don't like it. Prefer grog to sand, it turns out. Grog bonds better with the clay. It's bigger, it creates more texture, but it also seems to be offering a lot more support. I don't think I'd use this for slabs, for slab building. Okay. It's a very round, plump quail. Because he has to support a sombrero. So, what can you do? He has to be sturdy enough to support a sombrero. There. So, sombrero. Let's see. Let's see. Somebody told me to look. Wait, Pancho Villa, maybe? I don't know. I'm gonna look up sombrero and just see what happens. Oh, good. 300 hilarious shopping for. Oh no. Oh, you guys. Googling sombrero images is a little bit racist. The results. It's I think the let's find ourselves a named person who wore one, shall we? Let's never show anyone that screen. We'll look up Pancho Villa. Yeah, Pancho Villa. Perfect. Much better. Let's go with this image. Where was it? Pancho Villa. So like Pancho Villa. It's true. The bobwhite is a native quail species. Also, one of my favorites, which is the Montezuma quail. They have the best quail faces, but difficult to capture without complicated paint on glaze. Yeah, it would be fun to do a whole thing like digging my own clay and making my own clay and doing the whole thing. Yeah, no, we're not going to do any quail firearms. That's silly. But this is a really excellent sombrero. So I think we'll go with that. Give ourselves it's got kind of a tall okay. Oops. Sombrero crown. Sombrero crown. And then a sombrero, excuse me, losing my voice again. And then a sombrero, cracking, dry clay. And then a sombrero brim. Yes, Montezuma quail are very decorative. Okay. I mean, really, I was just looking for a good hat reference. Slightly. Well, we'll go with it for now. You know, a hat reference that wasn't a white dude in a straw party hat with a stick-on mustache, which is what I got when I googled sombrero, you guys. It was very concerning, is all I'm gonna say. Okay. Large hat. Yes, large, maybe slightly smaller hat. Just slightly smaller. I have an idea for how to do that. It's true. There have been no threats over goldfish ownership. I mean, I do want a big hat. I don't want it to be small, but I want it to be sort of sort of in scale, if that makes sense. But it has this really good sort of rolled up decorative brim edge, the one in the photo. So I'm going to try and kind of duplicate that a little bit. To kind of give it the look. There we go. Sort of like that, and then in the middle. Yeah. No, don't drop it. But that is a good approximation here. Let's Okay, wait. Front and back. What is front and what is there? Yes. I feel like that is how I had it. Okay. Oh dear. I can't click links in the chat while I'm claying. So I hope that you all click it and enjoy whatever it is, unless it's inappropriate, in which case, shame on you all. But I assume it's a photo of Zapata, because that's what's being discussed. Okay. I never considered, when I started live streaming, how excited everyone would be to have me make tiny hats. I have made a surprising number of tiny hats. Many of them just today. I was unprepared for the amount of tiny hats that I would sculpt in ceramic. I did not know that would be my future. Ah, the official. Okay, the official photo. Excellent. Okay, I don't know why the bottom got all cracked like this, but I'm going to attempt to solve it. Okay, which, there, up, and then down, and then up again. Hat brims have a very specific curve to them. Good. Okay. On like that is what we're going with. Yep. Some choices we've made. There we go. Now to tidy it up. When it is leather hard, I will put a decoration on the brim to make it appropriately fancy. But until then, I have to be satisfied with just the shape. Okay. Quail with a sombrero. Now for the rest of the quail detail, because you know there's more. Gotta firm up these lines that I did. Okay. Oops. Quail face needs the most important part. Eyes there and there. Oh, he looks very surprised. He looks quite startled. He has quite large eyes. Ah, well. You never know. You never know until you do the eyes. All right. Give him little feather lines. And where's our... Uh-oh. Don't knock over the tiny goldfish. Whew. Okay. Oh no. It finally broke. My leverage is finally gone. That's what you get for making tools out of balsa wood. I will say, in defense of Sand Buff, that it takes this impression pretty nicely. Better than the other clay, honestly. Like a cleaner, nicer impression. I don't know. I don't know if that's enough to make me forgive it for its other character flaws. All right. Let's finish up detail. Oops. Give the little feather details. Feather details. And then sombrero quail is complete. I don't did it censor something? It might have. I did not. If it did, I did not see it. I apologize. It censors it's a robot, so it censors things based on proximity to other things frequently. So sometimes the don't be racist robot gets a little excited. All right. And quail in a Pancho Villa hat. Or I guess it's a Zapata hat. I don't know. But it was definitely Pancho Villa who was wearing it when I looked it up. No mustache. Maybe someday a quail mustache. But today just the sombrero. In part because I am very hungry and it is 6:45. So, um, we're gonna wrap this adventure up. Quail with sombrero as our finishing touch. Set him off to the side. Just to do the wrap up here, let me grab the focus and make it so that the ground is in focus, so we can see what's happened. We have this quail, and we have the fish aren't on the ground, but they're still kind of in focus. And we have goldfish and detective goldfish propped carefully up in this cup of clay. And this leftover lump of clay that I'm gonna shove back into the clay bag or something, because I don't really love it, but I've got like 75 pounds of it, so you're gonna see it again. Thanks for joining me for this Friday tea time where we made some fish and put a hat on everything. If you had fun, you can subscribe, which is a thing that you can do with Twitch, or you can join my Patreon, which is a thing you can do with Patreon, which is actually, I think, cooler because there are more tiers and more options, and you get to see behind the scenes things. And until then, I'll see you next Friday or on Twitter. Thanks for joining me. Bye.